tonight's headlines. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadila Yusof in hospital due to food poisoning. And Sarawak asserts ownership of carbon matters, continental shelf and seabed. Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS confident in retaining JEPAK seat. Hello there, you're now with me, Sholshmato, and this is TVS Nightline. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadila Yusof was admitted to a hospital in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday after experiencing dehydration brought about by food poisoning. The matter was confirmed by his press secretary, Misia Taib, however did not disclose when he will be discharged. Earlier, Fadila chaired the Traffic Management Committee special meeting to tackle congestion at the Customs, Immigration and Quarantine Complex at Bangunan Sultan Iskandar and the Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security Complex at Bangunan Sultan Abu Bakar in Gelang Patah in Johor. Fadila, who conducted the meeting online by his hospital bed, also announced a 7.93 million ringgit allocation under the provision of entrance incentives to immigration officers. Under this provision, immigration officers of various ranks stationed at all entry points in the country will receive the incentives. Meanwhile, Johor Menteri Besar Dato' On Hafiz Ghazi said, despite being hospitalized, Fadila showcased his commitment by chairing the meeting today and also taking time to address media members via an online press conference held at the CIQ complex in Bangunan Sultan Iskandar. All carbon matters, including carbon storage, as well as the airspace, or legally coined as the spectrum of Sarawak's land, including the whole of its continental shelf and all the seabed and subsoil beneath it, are inherently owned by and belong to Sarawak. The matter was asserted by Parti Pesaka Bumiputera Bersatu PBB Sarawak Information Chief Dato' Idris Buang in regards to a statement by Premier Sarawak Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Junapeng defying claims that certain parties are claiming authority over carbon matters from Sarawak.
He also said that whoever claims or tries to assert authority over these matters has to go through the whole 9 yards of history and review their position so as not to be accused of trying to bully or patronize Sarawak, as matters such as land, water, electricity, forests, mining, local government, religion, native rights, and many others upon which Sarawak is clearly autonomous to legislate and enforce, emphasizing that it should not be questioned or violated, adding that these inviolable rights to legislate are preserved in the Intergovernmental Committee IGC report incorporated in the Malaysia Agreement of 1963. According to him, Sarawak is tenaciously developing oil and gas, carbon, hydrogen and others in line with the demand for green technology following all the legal infrastructure in place, as Sarawak positively galvanizing its strategies as the powerhouse in the region. Demands for our green energy from Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia and Sabah shows huge revenue potential. Meanwhile, Idris urged the people behind such making of the reports to be properly briefed on the real things that Sarawak government had done for the period under review and revise this report in order to give a fair and accurate view in Sarawak.
Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. AHMAD ZAHID Hamidi is confident that the Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS party will successfully defend the JEPAK State Legislative Assembly seat in the upcoming by-election. As such, he believes that the Parti Pesaka Bumiputera Bersatu PPP party, which is part of the GPS coalition, will ensure victory in the JEPAK constituency.
Jika kita diminta, kita akan membantu. Tetapi kita yakin GPS merupakan sebuah gabungan parti-parti Sarawak yang cukup kuat dan JEPAK itu adalah kursi GPS, maka kita yakin GPS mempunyai jentera yang mencukupi untuk memenangkan semula DUN JEPAK.
He told this to reporters after chairing the Rural and Regional Development Ministry's coordination meeting with Rural Executive Councillors Max Club. The polling day is set for November 4th, with October 21st as the candidate nomination and October 31st for early voting. The campaigning period for the JEPAK by-election will span 14 days, beginning on October 21st and concluding at 11:59 p.m. on November 3rd. The by-election is held following the passing of its former sixth-term incumbent, Dato' Talib Zulkifli, on September 15.
The formation of 10 rural agencies by the Sarawak government can be described as a significant game changer in the development of rural areas. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. AHMAD ZAHID Hamidi believes that the various rural development initiatives undertaken by these agencies are essential for the progress and advancement of rural areas.
Kita juga melihat dari segi beberapa kemajuan yang telah dibuat oleh wilayah Sarawak sendiri dengan pengujudan 10 lembaga-lembaga ataupun majlis serta agensi pembangunan di 10 kawasan di Sarawak ini. Ini adalah merupakan game changer yang harus dipelajari juga oleh negeri-negeri lain, ya. Dan tentunya komitmen berteknologi tinggi tanpa melupakan prinsip-prinsip asas keperluan penduduk di kawasan pedalaman turut diperkirakan.
He stated this after chairing the Rural and Regional Development Ministry's coordination meeting with Rural Executive Councillors Max Club on Wednesday. AHMAD ZAHID explained that several drastic changes will be made in his ministry concerning game changes that align with rural development, which is not just about infrastructure, fuel, water supplies, and rural facility projects. Therefore, the ministry will continue to emphasize high-tech courses offered by 251 Educational and Technical Vocational Training Institution (TVET) in Malaysia.
Kita akan memberikan penekanan terhadap kursus-kursus berteknologi tinggi, terutamanya yang bersesuaian dengan permintaan guna tenaga di pasaran industri yang ada. Ini adalah bagi menukarkan minda daripada bakal-bakal pencari kerja dan usahawan yang berbentuk white collar job kepada blue collar job yang menjanjikan imbuhan yang melebihi daripada hakikat pasaran biasa.
He further stated that the collaborative approach presented in the meeting is expected to create a balance between rural, suburban, and urban populations. Also present at the meeting were Deputy Minister of Rural and Regional Development, Dato' Rubiah Wang, Minister of Food Industry, Commodities and Regional Development of Sarawak, Dato' Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, and Minister in the Premier's Department, Dato' John Sikitayai.
Petroleum Sarawak Berhad, or Petros, and Putra Energy Berhad today announced the commencement of the first onshore drilling operation at Block SK433 in Miri. Premier Sarawak Dato' Patigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng emphasised that this development will revive the offshore exploration in the state, thus facilitating the rapid commercialisation of onshore oil and gas discoveries. As she said, such an effort is geared towards boosting the socio-economic growth of Sarawak and advancing the objectives outlined in the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy, or PCDS 2030. This marked a milestone of the inaugural onshore petroleum contract that was awarded by the state government to Petros in July 2021 under the Sarawak Oil Mining Ordinance 1958. He said at SK334, Petros is wrapping up a joint technical study and looking forward to the potential drilling exploration well in 2025. He added that the implementation of low-carbon solutions in Sarawak would contribute to the development of a social economy while protecting the environment, all aimed at achieving the goal of zero carbon emissions by 2050.
Sarawak has all the key LCS ingredients, including one, the largest hydropower capacity in Malaysia, and perhaps the region. Over 60% of gas reserve in Malaysia in Sarawak, and over 60% of carbon capture, utilization, and storage are also in Sarawak. With the combination of all our natural advantages, Sarawak, I believe, is well beyond the above socio-economic metrics. And Sarawak become the new hub in Malaysia. And based on the data I have, could be the hub in the whole ASEAN region.
Abang Johari said this in his speech when officiating the first drilling operation ceremony of Block SK433 Grand Old Lady in Canada Hill, Miri, on Wednesday. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunabang has articulated a visionary goal for the state to embark on the production of robots aimed at enhancing the daily lives of its people. He also announced the state government's commitment to provide financial support for the robot production initiative. Abang Johari suggested that Sarawak could draw inspiration from Grace the Robot, which recently made an appearance at the 27th World Congress on Information Technology WCIT and the 6th International Digital Economy Conference Sarawak, or IDEX 2023.
Perhaps we can also be involved in having our own Grace. Kalau tidak Grace, guna nama lain lah, nama Sarawak punya personality. Because that Grace have 4,000 sensors in her head. Meaning we have to engage together with Centec, together Huawei perhaps, for us to have that sensor in the head of Sarawak robot, then it can be used for our healthcare.
He said this in his speech when officiating the 5th anniversary of the Sarawak Research and Development Council SRDC held recently. Coming up right after the break, Malaysia-Thai enhances ties and Afghanistan lowers death toll of earthquake. Only on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Earlier today, Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim met with his Thai counterpart, Srettha Thavisin, for talks on strengthening both countries' bilateral relations. The Thai Prime Minister arrived on Wednesday for a two-day working visit, and this was his inaugural visit to the country after being sworn in as the PM on September 5. The upcoming meeting aims to enhance the already strong Malaysia-Thailand relationship rooted in their proximity as neighbours and partnership within ASEAN. This marks the second meeting between Anwar and Srettha. The first took place during the 78th United Nations General Assembly last month. In 2022, Thailand stood as Malaysia's seventh largest global trading partner and ranked third among ASEAN member countries, in which the total trade surged by 17.9%, reaching 122.03 billion ringgit compared to 97.55 billion ringgit in 2021. The government's assistance and seamless execution of the Automotive High-Tech Valley project exemplify Malaysia's commitment to facilitating investments swiftly and effectively. Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim stated in his Facebook account that the AHTV project is poised to expand its focus on talent development, research development and urbanization, therefore transforming Tanjung Malim into a global automotive hub for new energy vehicles.
Previously, the Prime Minister chaired a meeting on the project, which was attended by Perak Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Saarani Muhammad, Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz, and Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Chang Lee Kang. Anwar said that he observed the signing of the collaboration agreement between DRB Highcom and Gili, demonstrating the mutual commitment to making AHTV a success. He also witnessed the formalization of the essential principles in the agreement between Altel and G-Space Technology, Geely's strategic investment arm, which specializes in pioneering high-tech systems, advancing innovative solutions for sectors like smart ports. The AHTV, led by Sejang Geely Holding Group Co. Limited, in collaboration with DRB Highcom Berhad, is a mega project requiring a 32 billion ringgit investment.
Malaysia's Department of Statistics was elected as the co-chair of the Regional Advisory Board meeting on the International Comparison Programme 2021 for Asia and the Pacific. In a statement released earlier today, the organisation said that the chief statistician, Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin, reiterated DOSM's dedication to supplying accurate data, therefore ensuring the completion of the ICP 2021 cycle and publishing results by the first quarter of 2024.
DOSM further added that since early 2021, amid the challenging COVID-19 pandemic, all participating economies have made significant efforts in price collection, where they introduce alternative methods such as phone interviews, emails, and web scraping to ensure data gathering. A consultative body comprising experts and representatives from participating countries and organizations within a specific region, with its primary role is to advise in order to improve the quality, relevance and impact of ICP data and analysis. Meanwhile, the ICP is a global initiative formulated by the World Bank, which produces estimates of GDP and components using purchasing power parities (PPP), offering accurate economic comparisons. The ICP RAP comprises 7 members from different national agencies, including DOSM. Other members are from Cambodia, China, Hong Kong, India, Maldives, and Thailand.
The Ministry of Human Resources is considering improving the implementation framework of the Kerjaya Madani incentives so that more gig sector workers can be a part of the training provided. Its Minister V. Sivakumar emphasized that improvements need to be made because many gig workers have not fully embraced the program despite its implementation in April 2023.
Dan untuk itu kita juga ada program-program di bawah Perkeso program kerjaya madani di bawah Perkeso, iaitu untuk memberi latihan kepada pekerja-pekerja gig ini supaya mereka boleh beralih daripada industri gig kepada sektor formal. Okey, memang satu peruntukan berapa 42 juta telah pun disediakan oleh kerajaan kepada Perkeso untuk memberi latihan di bawah kerjaya madani ini. Okey, banyak inisiatif yang telah diambil oleh pihak Perkeso. Tapi saya juga harus menyatakan di sini bahawa walaupun ada inisiatif daripada kerajaan di bawah kerjaya madani ini, tetapi tahap pengambilan adalah masih rendah dari kalangan pekerja-pekerja gig.
He said this to reporters after opening the International Public Employment Forum 2023 at Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre on Wednesday. At the present, there are approximately 1.1 billion gig workers, and efforts should focus on facilitating their transition into formal industries as well as providing them with social protection. On April 13, the Kerjaya Madani incentive was launched, which focused on 3 elements, namely the Daya Kerjaya program, technical and vocational education and training TVET Daya Kerjaya program, and the Bina Kerjaya program. Each program, tailored to specific candidates, involves recognizing prior experiential learning (RPEL), micro-credentials, or professional and competency certificates. Participants are eligible for a training subsidy of up to 4,000 ringgit and a monthly allowance of 300 ringgit, lasting for a maximum period of 3 months.
Thank you for staying with me. The death toll from the series of earthquakes that struck Afghanistan was lowered from about 2,000 to above 1,000. The revised figure was stated by the country's Public Health Minister Kalanja Ibad due to confusion about the remoteness of the area and double reporting by agencies involved in the rescue effort.
د اولی پیښې چې کوم شهیدان درلودلو دا څه د پاسه تر زرو کسانو پورې موږ شهیدان لرو او مجموعي چې موږ کوم زخمیان دي لکه ما چې څنګه په مخکې درته واضح کړه یو د موږ هغه زخمیان دي چې دوی تالته په سیمه کې موږ رسیدګي کړې ده او ځینې هغه زخمیان دي چې موږ شفاخانې ته انتقال کړي دي ساعت 2 ساعته مو ساتلي دي او ځینې هغه زخمیان دي چې مقصد هلته موږ بستر کړي دي او بیا تر ننه پورې مقصد دوی موږ سره موجود دي د دوی مجموعي تعداد 2400 خواوشا.
Hospitals are now overcrowded by patients that survived the 6.3 magnitude earthquake that was followed by a series of powerful aftershocks. Earlier today, the country was struck yet again by a 6.3 magnitude earthquake, rendering many homeless. Officials said the quake caused 1 life casualty and injured 130 others.
Hurricane Lydia was downgraded to a tropical storm early Wednesday as it weakened after making landfall on Mexico's Pacific coast, leaving at least 1 dead and caused flooding and blocked roads. Hours after slamming into the coast as an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane, Lydia had weakened to a tropical storm as it headed northeast across the country, the U.S. National Hurricane Center said in an update.
Ahead of its arrival, the government deployed around 6,000 members of the armed forces to help residents, according to President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, who urged people to take shelter. According to authorities, a man died when a tree fell on the car he was driving during strong winds in Bahia de Banderas in Nayarit State. Lydia came ashore near the popular beach resort of Puerto Vallarta, packing maximum sustained winds of around 140 miles or 220 kilometers per hour. The storm had quickly strengthened to the second highest category on the 5-step Saffir-Simpson scale before reaching land. But by early Wednesday, its maximum sustained winds had dropped to 70 miles per hour and it was expected to rapidly lose strength. In Puerto Vallarta, a major destination for Mexican and foreign tourists, shopkeepers earlier boarded up windows and piled up sandbags in case of flooding.
And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shameto. Thank you for watching.
And you know, that psycho grassroots professional or that, so starting in schools, you know, instead of like us keep going to do talent ID to beg for players, do you have that hunger to sacrifice for